and yes, we are the very best.
$7 popping collars, eating shrimp, $5 met some girls from Guatemala, now they trying to holler.
Now before they wouldn't bother, now I'm trying to be a scholar, cause she giving all the knowledge to me.
Knowledge to me.
Doing homework every night of the week.
Night of the week.
Like she chillin' up at college with me.
College with me, but we cruising, man. Rolling up at 4:30. Kush same color as a Kobe Road jersey, or a throwback worthy. Giraffe ass high, fresh breeze just passing us by. Cause I'm cruising on a Sunday afternoon. I got my good shoes on, ain't got no bad news. Here's what you say to the lady. Let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you, oh, let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you. Why? Cause I don't wanna leave this party, baby, without you. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. Okay. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. So I arrive at a party at 9. I reside inside Sim, think on the fly, time's on our side. But look again, and it's 11 p.m. Chalk it on the board, time to sin, let's begin. Hey, you're kinda cute, and I got the loot to befriend both you and your girlfriend too.
You single, Tim Jones?
Well, that depends. Just then she turned to a friend and she said,
I really like him.
Say word.
I really like him.
Oh yeah.
I really, 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 really like.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Papa T back at you once again this evening here at JCT TV. As in open and always, we'd like to give a great big salutation to the chief engineer in the back, making the magic happen, none other than Big Al. How's it going, Big Al? Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're going to jump on to a great topic this evening and subject matter and bring you hopefully loads and loads of information, data, and coverage from remote location in the field. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy your evening. We definitely enjoy being in your presence once again, and hopefully to find ourselves worthy of continuing to do so. I'm Papa T. See you shortly.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so I can hardly speak, and I seem to find that happiness I see when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. I don't stare, I lay down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we pray that you like that talent of the week. But with that being said, I'm here with the cast of The Few. To my left, you're right out there in TV land, none other than Joe C. Joe Carroll. Joe, how are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Outstanding, outstanding. And this evening we have the outstanding CEO of Raise 'em Up Records, none other than Ken Hampton. Ken, how are
Hey,
you?
Excellent. How you doing, boss?
Outstanding, always, bro. When you guys are here, you give me energy to move forward and hopefully be a blessing to those folks out there to fall up underneath our voices.
Always.
Name of the game.
With that being said, we have an interesting topic this evening in one, protest and harmonize. And I know that this week, Joe was solo on the radio actually addressing that issue, but I'm going to toss it directly over to you gentlemen and let you do what you do.
I might as well start it since I got into it before. You can jump off what I have to say.
Absolutely.
One of the main things about this topic, these two words, is that they hit home with me because I had to look at myself, and when I was talking about protest and harmonize, I was giving all this mental stuff, you know, this philosophical theory and all that kind of stuff. But really, with these words, we have to look at how they apply to us. And they applied to me, it was like instant karma happening in my life. Because I did protest. My original goal was to achieve a state of harmony, which I think should be the goal of any protest. So what I discovered was that you really have to be careful when you protest. You have to try to look at all angles, keeping in mind that your ultimate purpose and goal is harmony, is balance at the end. And I discovered that you can say all the words you want, I can get up here and preach all I want, but reality hits me just like anybody else. And I have to take these words and use them to kind of critique and judge myself. And that's what I found that happened.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow. It's really amazing as I look at those two words, and like you said, it definitely is something that I think first to be examined within ourselves. Actually, as I look at the word pro and test, pro is, before proactive, when you're proactive, and the test of something is to put it through the trials, to put it through the test, so to see how it comes out. And when I looked at harmonizing, I thought of us. I thought of us as people coming together as one sound to make a sound, which is to bring out forth the word of what God has proclaimed in the earth, is to come together and make us to come together as more. Like, we're all here to harmonize, indeed, to become one voice, one mind, one set, to do something greater. So the harmony would be us as people. God has created us to harmonize with one another, to actually go forth and make a sound through our vocals, through our words, and to come together to make something that's sweet back to His ears. Mm-hmm. To be harmonizing is a sweet sound. When you look at a group and they're harmonizing, it's the bass, it's the tenor, it's the sopranos. They're coming together to make a sound that's really sweet to the ear. So that's what we do as people. We should be doing that. Yeah. We should be coming together as people, harmonizing to become a greater person, a greater one, as God created us to be. So when I look at protest, is to be proactive, to go through the trials and tribulations, and to bring that into harmonizing with me and my brother's keeper. I'm my brother's keeper, so when I come together, we create a harmony together, that we can bring each other out of each of the situations, indeed, that we can raise each other up, mind, body, and spirit.
Indeed, wow, that's amazing. These gentlemen are always direct and to the point, and they don't hold anything back here, because we don't really believe in being politically correct here, but being correct and actually attributing to the grand architect of the universe and giving back. And the folks that fall up underneath the articulation of our voices to actually be able to stimulate and cultivate them to higher heights. Yeah. And when you talk about harmonizing, you hit the nail on the head, because harmony is any entity exchanging between two or more bodies that's in sync. You know, and we got off into a conversation earlier before we actually entered onto this set this evening, and the lovely talent of the week, which is Dr. Sue, or aka Dr. Susan Horowitz. She was talking about the fact that the biggest protest that's been heard around the world this week was the gentleman murdering people in New York. That was his level of protest. That protest escalated to a very high height because it brought about fatality. And when you think of the term fatality, it is a big word in a small body. And he protested to such a level that it's been heard around the world. But it was violent and it was negative. So in our harmonizing, we have to elevate to that same height or greater heights in making our harmony become more profound throughout the land and throughout the world so that we can destroy and overshadow these small protests. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we can look forward to this evening, Mr. Gorman John Ruggiero, and we have our own John Ruggiero, if I'm pronouncing it right, as in Speedo. We want to give him a great big shout out there. He's known as Superman around here on the network. But they're actually going to come forth in a while and actually show you folks out there what harmony looks like, right, on a theatrical level. But with that being said, we're going to go over to some coverage that we did on remote location with JCT TV and the community, and we'll be right back to continue on the round table because I can see these gentlemen swelling up, so they definitely want to contribute something. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Pat Murphy. I'm the career counselor here in Waterbury, and I'm here with Mr. Joe McGrath, who's the Economic Development Director of the City of Waterbury. And we thank you for coming today on behalf of the Entrepreneurial Club that you will be speaking at.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I just want to briefly explain our position in terms of economic development with the city. Under the leadership of Mayor Neil O'Leary over the last 6 years, we've actually grown the job market to an increase of about 3,000 jobs, and we brought in 66 brand new businesses into the city of Waterbury. Some of them are entrepreneur-type businesses, small, and we also were capable of, or fortunately, we were able to bring in some businesses that employ up to 250 to 300 people. So.
Well, thank you, Joe. Appreciate you being here and taking time out of your schedule to meet with us today.
Again, my pleasure, and if there's any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session of the Entrepreneurs Club here at Maturity Works. And today's main topic or subject matter is actually protest and harmonize. We will cover that a little bit later in the session, but right now I have a special guest here, and I want everybody to pay attention and be in tune because you're going to get a wealth of information and knowledge right now. And we know that knowledge is the basic foundation of all things in existence, and in order to grow, you must definitely have knowledge. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up from the Economic Development Department in Waterbury, Connecticut, none other than the sensational Mr. Joe McGrath.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here this morning. I like the title entrepreneurship. Let me just give you a little bit of what's happening in Waterbury because I think it's important. If you want to be creative in terms of opening up a business, it's good to understand what is going on in the city and how can you interface and how can you help businesses in many different capacities. So we're a city of 110,000 people. We're only 29 square miles in length. We at one time were the largest manufacturer of brass in the world. We had 3 major manufacturers here that employed 54,000 people. So when you look around Waterbury, as they're looking at it now, it was created back when manufacturing was the reason to draw people to live here. So you see a lot of 3-family houses. You see not a lot of real estate in terms of property in a lot of the different locations. And the reason for that is that after the war, World War I, World War II, they had the opportunity to bring these people back to the city of Waterbury, and they can house their whole families in all 3 sections. That's when they drove one car. Things were, they walked to work. Now these houses have Most of them are owned by absentee landlords, and you'll see 5, 6 cars in and around the street and on the driveway, so you see a lot of congested areas. With that said, when Mayor Neil O'Leary came to office 6 years ago, he had a main focus to focus on blight and also focus on economic development. And so I had come into this, I retired from a corporation that I was with in the corporate world for 40 years. And he asked me if I would consider coming into the city and working with him on economic development. So that's a little bit of my background. So 6 years ago, we put together a plan. And so far, we have over 60 businesses that have come open, some small, some entrepreneurs, some large. We have right now under construction, we have major construction going on in the city that will bring probably another 1,000 jobs into the city once they're completed. So, where do you fit into all this, I guess, is, what I'm trying to get at. As entrepreneurs, there's a lot of opportunity to support this type of activity, either through small businesses, through restaurants, through culinary, through secretarial, through any type of entrepreneurship that you can think of. There would probably be opportunity in the city of Waterbury to focus on that. So with that said, I'm going to really open it up for questions to me while I'm here. I'm trying to cover exactly what has to be here. So if you were to set up your own business, what certifications or licenses are needed. It depends upon what type of career you're going to go into. There are businesses that require, health licenses. If you're going to go into some type of culinary, it's going to require licenses for health and food inspections. If you're going to do transportation, it's going to require a separate license for transportation. If you're going to do handicap transportation, you have to be skilled and qualified to do handicap transportation. So it depends upon what career that you decide to go in, what direction you decide to go in, will determine exactly what type of license or certifications that you need. But in order to open up a business, you need to have the proper zoning. So if you decide that you want to take some office space in downtown, you got to make sure that you're properly fit into the zoning that's designed for that area. Concerns would be making sure that the business that you open up meets all the criteria that the city of Waterbury would set up in terms of your health inspections, in terms of your electrical inspections, in terms of your plumbing and your heating and everything else that goes along. It's not only about you anymore when you open up a business, it's about you and also about your potential clients. So, questions?
Joe?
Yes.
Are there any opportunities like SBA if someone needs help financing a future business in Waterbury?
There's programs out, Waterbury itself, we don't have any programs that the city owns. We're trying to balance a budget in the city of Waterbury, and also to provide services that we need to provide to a city of our size. But the state has programs available, and then some of the programs are located in the city. You can go to the local Chamber of Commerce, and there's a small business program that they offer there that they'll sit down and counsel you in terms of where you need and how you go about opening up your own business. And they would also then take you to the state level for an opportunity to finance a small business if you so qualify to do so. So it's mostly state programs, but they lend themselves into the major cities. And we obviously, as the city, want to make sure that the programs are available, so we'll help walk you through the system.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the subject matter of protest and harmonize. And we are doing our best in our effort to actually contribute and distribute as much of that harmony as we possibly can. Gentlemen, you have the floor.
I just wanted to say about protest and to jump off of what Ken was saying about harmonize. Our ultimate goal is to achieve a state of homeostasis in our bodies. In the world, it's the same thing. We're just a smaller microcosm of the universe. So everything needs to be in balance. Everything needs to be in a state of harmony. The guy who mowed down those pedestrians in New York, he had a protest. He was protesting something. What he wasn't doing was looking at what his purpose was as far as overall balance in the world. He wanted to achieve his own agenda. And this is what I thought of the other night on the radio, is that if we have an agenda, we have to be careful. We have to make sure that we want the ultimate purpose to be harmony, to be balance, to achieve a state of homeostasis. All that did was cause, well, it ruptured things. It was like a cancer cell that multiplies and causes disruption, causes the death of other cells in the body. That's exactly what it was.
So I want to say this, just interject. So that was negative fusion or confusion, yes?
Yeah, right. Didn't think of that, but yeah, that's exactly what it is, yeah. So, you know, that kind of person who's protesting something, maybe he has valid concerns. Just like I felt I had a valid concern when I protested, but I didn't see all of the consequences that could have happened. And I regret the action that I took, the specific method of protesting. So I think, you know, we could go on about this as far as the historical aspect of protests throughout American history and whatever. But you have to look at it from the point of view of, well, you have to look at it from God's point of view. What would he want to achieve through this? And if we take God's point of view, we have to look at the ultimate desire of God and say, harmony. He wants us to live in harmony as brothers and sisters.
And as you say, he wants us to live in harmony. The first thing he wants us to do, live in love. And when we have lack of love, there will be no peace and no harmony. If we truly walk and take a self-evaluation, ask yourself, am I loving? Am I protesting love out into the atmosphere? First, starting with the Creator, myself, and then my brethrens, then my harmonizing will be in the sense of building, always elevating my brothers and sisters to a higher level. That gentleman who didn't have the love in himself, he had lack of. So his protest was pure evil because he didn't have the love that God has shown him. He didn't acknowledge it. And so with that, if we don't get to a state of, number one, loving the Creator, and then loving our brothers and sisters as ourselves, we will always not be, you can harmonize, but it will be a bad sense. We can always use good and bad and utilize it either way, because everything that we have is already in us, good or bad. At any given time, someone can go from good to bad or bad to good. We have to daily practice dying to self and walking in actual love, even when you don't feel like loving. Love is something, it's an action. You have to do it because it is.
Indeed. You know, once again, after addressing the subject matter, it has come back as the foundation of protesting against everything and harmonizing, in essence, everything. That the basic key word has come back to being love. Love is the highest elevation of understanding, which means if we reach to the highest heights, we will achieve our objective in a positive and a peaceful fashion. The protest method has overshadowed the purpose. So nobody even knows why this gentleman did what he did. Nobody even knows why the gentlemen who are protesting by taking a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance, they've forgotten about what the purpose is, because the protest has been done in such a negative fashion that has overshadowed the purpose and the original intent. So we have to stand back, reassess, and then address all of the current negative issues in society, and then step forward in a bold fashion, but in definitely a positive fashion. And that will be bringing all the disconnected aspects of reality into a harmonious whole.
Well, look at Martin Luther King. What was his major protest? What was the ultimate goal of that? To have, what did he say, little black girls, little black boys hold hands with little white boys.
Unification.
Yeah, harmony,
Indeed.
unification.
Indeed. But
His was a good protest.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for today's session of the another session that I believe is positive, Real Romance. And it will actually be performed today by Mr. Gorman and Dr. Sue right here before your eyes as something that we hopefully can bring to you in a pleasure state. And then we'll go over to Ken's Corner to actually interview these folks and see what makes them tick.
Awesome.
Cool.
You're a special person, a bright and shining star. You deserve to take a bow. And here's a toast to you and all that you are. May all you love be near, your troubles all be far. Real romance to you, real romance to me. Why not take a chance? And take the time to savor each moment with its flavor. Here's to real romance. Oh, come on in. I'm ready.
So you are...
Rose, call me Rose. Oh, everyone does ever since Titanic.
Oh, so you're Rose in the movie Titanic. So you're a fictional character.
Fiction, maybe in the beginning. But I live my roles. I immerse myself in my roles. I become Rose. Here's to Titanic.
Ah, the great ship. What a tragedy.
Oh, what a movie. The role of a lifetime.
You know what? You don't look like that young actress that played Rose in the Titanic. Kate Winslet?
Kate, who? You know, when I come to think about acting, I say, move over, Kate. Here is to a real star, me. And here's to you, my Hollywood reporter.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So I'm going to be the Hollywood reporter, and I'll be from the magazine called Real Romance, spelled R-E-E-L. We bring you the inside story of romance with the stars. And who could be more romantic than Jack?
Who?
Jack, the star of the Titanic.
Excuse me. Without Rose, how would Jack be?
He'd be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, him. Let's focus on my sequel, which will make me an even bigger star, if possible.
What sequel?
Well, it's going to be bigger than Titanic. Believe me.
Okay, all right. Where are we?
Well, where else? We're on the red carpet. Oh, it's been how long? 20 years, 30 years, but it feels like yesterday. Oh my gosh, I can see it all now. The night, the stars, the iceberg, and that unsinkable Titanic sinking beneath the sea.
And Jack.
Who?
Jack, he saved Rose's life.
Oh, you know, actually, I saved his life. There he was, down in the brig of the Titanic. And that ship was sinking, and Jack was chained.
You're good at this.
Chained! He was chained to that whatever. Hold out your hands, I'll show you.
Okay.
So, there he was, chained. And I raise my axe.
No.
I take aim, and
no.
I swing. There!
Hey, you almost cut off my hand.
Whoa, I did not. I used my tennis swing.
Rose did not play tennis.
How do you know? You know, there's a lot you don't know about Rose.
Like what?
Well, like her, I mean, my talents.
What talents?
Well, I mean, like writing music, for example. I wrote the theme song to Titanic. Near, far, wherever.
You wrote that?
Yes, I wrote it. I never got any credit or a cut of the royalties, but it's going to be different this time around.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
writing a new theme song, a better theme song. Oh,
Okay.
I got a great title. A great, great title. The Rose. Some say love, it is a panic, but I say they are wrong. I say love, it is Titanic, and me, I write
That song
songs.
sounds suspiciously like The Rose, a big hit by Bette Midler.
Bet who?
Bette Midler, she's a famous star. She's been in a lot of shows. Bette Midler, hello.
Hello, what?
Okay, let's just go back to Titanic. In Titanic, there were magnificent costumes. Who's your costume designer?
Me? You know, everyone says that Jack was so artistic because he drew my portrait. And you know what? I inspired him with my naked body. You think it was easy to hold that pose? I could have caught pneumonia. I'm very sensitive to cold.
You're sensitive to cold. Jack's the one who died of hypothermia in the North Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, poor Jack, poor Jack. He did it for me.
Yes, he certainly did. And what did he get out of it?
The role of a lifetime. Oh, he was freezing to death. So I used all of my acting talents to feel that cold, cold hand in mine.
Yes, that was a chilling moment. Everyone loved Jack.
What about me? You know, I can still feel that dying hand colder and colder and colder, but I keep holding on.
I think you're holding on to that jewel around your neck, and I see you still have it.
You mean my necklace?
Yeah, that looks suspiciously like the one that Rose threw into the ocean. I suppose it had a name too? What was it?
Did have a name. It was called, it was called The Heart of the Ocean. I named it myself. Can you guess my inspiration?
I think the inspiration was that heart toothpick stuck in your olive. How many drinks have you had?
Why?
Because the more you drink, it seems, the more talent you have. You direct, you write, you star. What else you got?
You forgot modeling. You know, don't you remember how Jack drew my portrait?
Jack, what a great artist.
What a great model. What a great body. You think it was easy to hold that pose? I mean, I looked fantastic, and I could have caught pneumonia. I'm very sensitive to cold. And as far as Jack being an artist, well, I feel that I should have charged extra for the nude scene.
And I would have paid for it.
And I can still look good. Wanna check me out?
Okay, let's talk about your necklace.
Oh, my necklace, my God.
Let's talk about your necklace.
Yes, just help me out here with my jewelry.
You're supposed to be doing this scene, dear, for real. This is our anniversary. So come on, do it again.
I'm doing it for real.
All right, take it back. Come on.
I take it back. Okay.
And I rehearsed this a long time.
Whoa. Let's talk about...
Jack, what an artist.
Whoa, what about my necklace? At the end of the movie, I throw that priceless jewel into the sea.
You threw it into the sea. I thought the old lady threw it into the sea.
I play young Rose and old Rose. In that scene, she is almost 100 years old.
Really? She looked slightly older.
Slightly? I wear makeup. Tons of makeup.
Well, it looked fake.
My makeup looked fake?
Well, no, not the makeup, but your necklace looked fake. The one that Rose threw into the ocean looked fake. And the one that you're wearing now looks real, even up close. What did you do? Did you throw the fake necklace into the ocean and keep the real one?
Rose would never do a thing like...
I know, but you're not Rose. Rose is a fictional character.
But I live my roles, and I call it method living.
Oh, no.
Rose and I become one for the sake of art. Oh, my God, and that's what it takes to become a great star.
And what about
I'm a special...
Jack?
Who?
Jack, the greatest love of all.
Oh, the greatest love of all is a movie theme song. Actually, I wrote it.
You wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote it, and I also star in the movie.
That movie was the life story of Muhammad Ali. Come on, Let's do this.
So, I happen to like biopics. I plan to star in the life story of Mao Zedong.
No.
Diversity
No.
casting.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, would you care for a cocktail?
No, thank you. What's in that anyway? Hold on.
You like.
Whoa.
Wouldn't you like to know? I'll tell you one thing. This martini was stirred, not shaken, over ice to symbolize my real co-star, the iceberg.
What about Jack? What about Jack?
Jack who?
Jack, the romantic lead. From what I understand, Rose was the iceberg until Jack warmed her up.
You know, actually, I warmed him up. And I can do it again. I'll never forget that night. Yes, there we were. And I was naked, of course, except for my necklace. And Jack was drawing my portrait.
Okay, you got that right. That's
And
good. You're good. Keep going.
yes, and I can still feel the heat of his body
Yeah.
across the room.
Okay, and whatever happened to Jack's famous portrait? Tell
Well,
me
at the
that.
end of the ship, you know, the end of the movie, well, they raised the ship and they got that portrait
Oh, you're
out
good.
of the safe.
You're good.
But that portrait was waterlogged and it was missing a detail. And I am the only one who knows.
Except for Jack.
But Jack is dead. He froze to death. And he floated far away. Far, far away. Near, far.
Okay. Hold on. I hear you're getting $3 million for this sequel.
Well, I deserve it. It's Rose's life story. It's my life story.
And what about Jack? It's his life story too. Jack, the greatest love of all.
Oh my God. The greatest love of all. And the next thing you're going to do is talk about how he's a great artist.
Jack was a great artist. Jack was the greatest artist. Wait a minute. Who never lived.
That's
Yes,
right.
never lived thanks to you.
It was not my fault. It was that iceberg. But fortunately, you are here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Rose,
and on
Rose,
and
it's not only your
on
heart that goes on and on. Your body went on and on too, and you grew into a ripe old age, you and that mole.
Mole? What mole?
The mole on your left breast and on Jack's famous portrait.
But it was too waterlogged to see any detail like a mole.
Okay, but a great artist can make a copy from memory. You want to see? Oh, what do we have here? Oh, look at that. Look. Yes, that's it.
Oh my God! It's my portrait.
What a night. What a model. What a necklace. What a mole.
But you can't be.
But I am. Do you remember my cap?
Jack.
Rose, it's been a long time.
But Jack is a fictional character.
So, everybody calls me Jack ever since Titanic.
But you don't look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Makeup, tons of makeup. I've been channeling Jack for so many years. At first, it was just an acting job. And then I began to live the part. Nothing has been so vital or real in my life as Titanic.
It's Jack! You froze to death in the ocean.
No, that's what you've been telling everybody for all these years. But I swam to the nearest lifeboat because I was young and I was strong. And a very nice lady helped me on board. Nice, not like you.
I'm nice. You know, I happen to be very nice. I'm extremely, extremely nice. And I'm great at doing all kinds of things, as you can notice. Very, very nice.
You're very nice.
I'm extremely nice, but I was floating on a plank.
Yes, a
from
plank.
the Titanic, and the plank that I was on
got there.
was very, very skinny.
Oh, yes, and you also used to be skinny.
What? You know, I might have put on
A few pounds. Rose. Be careful with those cocktails. Pretty soon, they're going to have a new nickname for you.
What?
Titanic.
Oh, that's not Titanic. Next thing I know, you're going to take away all my fun.
No, but I'm telling you, why didn't you let me on that plank?
Well, there was no room for you. There's only room for one.
No, Rose. There was room for two. You and me. I climbed on board. All you had to do was move over. No, what did you do? You pushed me off, and I'll never forget what you said.
What?
You said, "Move over, baby."
Oh, I did not say.
Oh, yes, you did. Wait a minute. Move over, baby. That could be the new theme song for our sequel. Move over, baby. Move over, baby. Move over, baby. Move over, baby, now. That's it. That's the new sequel theme song.
Sequel? What sequel?
My sequel for the new Titanic. My movie. I'll call it Move Over, Baby.
You will not.
I certainly will. I can see it all now. I'll do the real inside expose for the Real Romance magazine called REEL. I'll tell all the readers how Rose pushed Jack off that plank.
I did not push you off any plank. That plank was wet.
Wet?
It was wet. It was very wet. And it was slippery. And you slipped.
But you said move over.
I did not say move over. I said groove lover. Because you were my groovy lover.
Groovy lover. What are you talking about?
Groovy. It's an old expression. Old, like us.
We're not old.
I have wrinkles.
I dig your wrinkles.
You do?
They're from laughing and living and loving. They're part of who you are.
A character actress.
You are a character.
Well, so are you. But what about my sags and bags?
Rose, we've all got baggage. And we've got memories. Beautiful memories.
Memories light the corners of my mind. Misty watercolored memories.
Different movie, Rose.
Oh, I know. But it's fun to pretend.
Yeah.
I should have sung that theme song.
Are you kidding? Move over, Barbara Streisand. You're a much better singer than her.
Really?
Yeah, to me you are. And you do all those other things. You direct, you write, you star in movies, you design costumes, you do it all, baby.
And what do you do?
When you say groove lover, I slip.
Well, you know what I say?
What?
I say groovy. But there's one part that I don't like.
What?
I don't like the part where I push you off the plank. I would never push you off a plank.
I know, and I would never push you out of bed either.
Ooh.
Happy anniversary, darling. I think we did that one better than the one last year.
I think we did it great. Happy anniversary. And you know what?
I know. You would never push me off a plank.
I wouldn't.
I would never push you out of bed.
And
we did this. Come
we
on.
did
This is the one we always mess
This is the
up.
happy anniversary. And oh, yes, I can see it all now. That scene, don't you remember how you make me feel and how I make you feel?
How long has it been?
That's right. How long has it been?
Okay. Happy anniversary, darling.
Happy anniversary. How long has it been?
Who's counting? Ha! We did that. All I know is that you make me feel like the wind is in my face. Get over there and dance it. One more time. Come on. We practiced this 20 times.
We didn't practice.
All I know is you make me feel like the wind is in my face.
Woo!
You're in my arms.
Woo!
And I'm king of the world.
You make me feel like a Hollywood star. So what are we doing next time?
What are we doing for the next anniversary? We did Dracula.
Not doing that.
How about Gone with the Window?
You mean da
Da da da da. Yeah.
da 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 da
Da. It's curtain, Scarlet.
Oh, Red.
Yes.
Tomorrow is another day. Who will bring the costumes?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Well, here's to imagination. Without imagination, what would life be?
What would love be?
Here is to real romance.
With a twist.
With a twist. You're a special person.
A bright and shining star.
You deserve to take a bow. Here's a toast to you and all that you are. May all you love be near, your troubles all be far. Real romance to you.
You didn't teach me this song.
Wait, I'll do the end by myself. You catch on. You catch on
I
fast. Real romance for you. Real romance for me. Why not take a chance? Take the time to savor each moment with its flavor. Here's to real romance.
Hello, everybody out there in TV land. This is Ken's Corner. I'm Ken Hampton from Ken's Corner, and I have two special guests with me this morning. I have the famous Dr. Sue, entrepreneur, writer, actress, just debonair woman of every aspect. And I have the famous writer-director Gorman with me today. It's great to have you both here. We just got a little bit of what you guys do. It was extraordinary. You guys put on a great performance. I want to ask you a little bit about how you guys got to do and what you're doing here for what you did today for us. How did you guys get together to do that particular situation?
Okay, well, this grew. It grew from a little seed because I wrote it. I wrote this song, this show, which was a play. Originally, it had a different name. We changed it because I love that name, Real Romance. And then I was looking to cast it. And I really didn't know anything. But I was told I could cast out of backstage, so I did. So I put an ad in, and he answered the ad. And I thought, well, I'll interview people on the phone. And that's what we did. I sent you the script, right? I sent you by email. And then I said, well, we'll just do it over the phone, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you on backstage as well. I'm familiar with backstage. A lot of people get a lot of context to do. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you doing? I hear that you're about to go to China.
Yeah, I'm going back to China again for the third time. I direct plays. I adapted 2 musicals this summer, Snow White and Aladdin.
Okay.
And I directed them with a half Chinese cast, half American cast. And the Chinese speak Chinese, the Americans speak English, and we have marquees on each side of the stage to translate the English into Chinese for the Chinese audience.
Oh wow, wow. So how long have you been into acting and directing?
My first show, I sent away for a 25-cent build your own circus kit when I was 7 from from a cartoon magazine, and I put that up in my backyard, and I've been doing acting ever since. I trained at State University at Purchase in the conservatory program, and then went into producing my own shows because I couldn't get into the union, and I just kept doing it.
Oh wow, wow.
When I met Sue online, I was at Backstage, and I looked at and I saw this Titanic Panic ad.
Yeah, that was the first.
And then-
that was the first
yeah,
name. Before
then-
I was Real Romance, I
Right.
called it Titanic Panic. I put the ad in, and that's what
Right.
you saw.
And when
yeah.
I read the script, I thought it was a good script. I liked it. It was a 2-person script. I thought it was a nice, romantic, wholesome comedy that you don't see often. And I applied and got the job.
When I actually sat and watched it, I didn't know what to expect. But as I watched it, I got really intrigued by the chemistry that you guys had together. I would have thought you guys have been working together previously to today, to this particular thing. And
yeah, that's right. People say when they see us on stage, they think we know each other for 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
say everybody comments on the chemistry and how natural it is. And that's it. And I think, well, we don't know each other a long, but now I guess we do know each other.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah, we know each other off and on. But when this is some, and part of the reason that I cast Gorman was he had that background in producing and directing. I thought that would help. And then he had a background in psychology and teaching. And I thought, well, he's a person who cares about other people. Right. And he sounds like a stable, solid person. And I thought, well, that's going to really help me in the show. Yeah.
So what is in the future for this particular production, as well as both your careers further? I know you're about to go to China, but what is your future plans for?
Well, what's happening is that I'm developing Real Romance as a brand, and I'm so excited about it because I see that Real Romance, which starts as this romantic comedy, can also be a brand that applies to a lot of other things like fashion, Real Romance fashion, mixologies, the Real Romance martini with a heart stirrer, the Real Romance showing up at all different kinds of events. I made the theme song, which you heard us sing in the show. I wrote that actually, and I went to a recording studio and I made a recording of the vocal and the instrumental, and I made a video of me and my dance partner dancing to an instrumental of the music. So I wanted to grow and have all kinds of aspects.
Wow, that's awesome. As you say all this, I all can see that as a show.
Yeah.
I can definitely see Real Romance show, and it could be something really.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I see Real Romance is going on and on. Yeah.
And we need more real romance in society. Everything is so strict and not to that anymore. We've gotten away from the real romance, a part of life, and I think that's a great attribute that you're bringing back to society, which is missing. So tell me now, as you go to China, what is your base foundation of what you're doing there?
So I have 2 projects. One, I'm going to be developing a brand new nationwide educational theater program for a company in Dongguan. And what they want, Chinese people love Americans. They've looked afar at our freedom for doing business, freedom of speech, all the things that America has that they didn't have during their rule. Right. Now China's opening up. They're beginning to develop a booming economy. It's booming along at 8%. They have a lot more freedoms in terms of doing business. There's a lot of capitalistic businesses opening, small carts on the street to big restaurants and big movie industry. They want everything American in terms of, they want American shows, American movies, American cartoons, American products. They just are entranced with Americans. So they want me to go there and build this theater education program. But I'm going to be using all the Western theories and processes of teaching acting and theater history, not just American. And then the second project is a Shanghai company is going to produce one of my shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
they want to bring Americans in.
I was going to ask where
Yep.
you're going to bring Americans
Yep.
over to.
Yep.
Oh, that's truly awesome.
Yep.
Tell me, Miss Sue, Dr. Sue, what are your future plans for outside of just this particular project? What are your next future projects going on?
Well, actually, we might wind up working together because, as you know, I'm a singer-songwriter.
Right.
And in this show, it's just a comedy. I kind of make fun of the idea that I'm a singer-songwriter, but in real life, I am a singer-songwriter.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking that we might do something with music and make a collection of real romance types of songs that are, they make you feel really good. They're very melodic. They're very romantic. And a lot of ideas for putting together that real romance as something that, and I think of it as something for, couples or singles, romantic, but I think beyond that, I think in terms of, showing love with family, international connections, but, and the martini glass with the stir, it's actually, as you know, it's empty. There's nothing in it, which I think is funny that we keep toasting each other. And that means it could be a cocktail or a mocktail. You drink or you don't drink, but everybody's included.
Now tell me, how can we find you? Where can we find you at?
You can go to realromance.com. That's REEL romance.com. And they'll take you right there.
And how can we find you?
You can find me on Gorman John Ruggiero, backstage.com.
Listen, it was truly amazing to have both of you amazing people on King's Corner. And we look forward to all that God is going to do through you two in the near future, and maybe collaborating with Raise 'em Up Records and JCTV. We're just grateful to have you here.
Great.
Continue reaching for the stars.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Two-tone and LELNESSN, yes, we are the very best.
$7 popping collars, eating shrimp. $5 met some girls from Guatemala, now they trying to holler.
Now before they wouldn't bother, now I'm trying to be a scholar, cause she giving all the knowledge to me.
Knowledge to me.
Doing homework every night of the week. Like she chillin' up at college with me.
College with me, but we cruising, man. Rolling up at 4:30. Kush same color as a Kobe Road jersey, or a throwback worthy. Giraffe ass high, fresh breeze just passing us by. Cause I'm cruising on a Sunday afternoon. I got my good shoes on, ain't got no bad news. Here's what you say to the lady. Let me squeeze you, let me hold you, let me squeeze you, let me hold you. Why? Cause I don't wanna leave this party, baby, without you. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride.
Okay.
What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. So I arrive at a party at 9. I reside inside Sim, think when we fly. Time's on our side, but look again, then it's 11 p.m. Chalk it on the board. Time to sin, let's begin. Hey, you kinda cute, and I got the loot to befriend both you and your